so there's the car. Hopefully it's okay parking there. Alright, so we are at Ridgewood Trailhead, as it were. Tiny little parking. There's only three, spots for like 3 cars. Hi. Alright, so what we have here is we've got, firstly, this is Saturday, October 18th, I believe, right? Yep, October 18th, 2025. We got Ridgewood Drive. I've never parked at that trailhead before. We'll see how it goes. So we gotta go to McConnell Road is 1.2. And then another 0.5 or so to get to the tunnel, National Tunnel, that is. I parked at for a moment, I parked at the McConnell Road just now, and it was way too tight. I wasn't comfortable there. Extremely tight parking area. And just too cramped, and there were too many people there, too many cars trying to get in. I found a spot there, but wasn't happy with it, so I backed out and left. So I came down here. So I got an extra 1.2 miles. Jeez. Mile marker 23 and a half. Hi. It's like I said, this is Saturday, October 18th, 2025. This is the Montour Trail. Now is the Ridgewood Drive, Ridgewood Trailhead. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I was in this area. I parked at the Cecil Park, and I walked up here, and I walked all the way down. It took like about a mile, 1.1 mile to get from that Cecil Park to here, and I walked all the way down here to the Muse Bishop Bridge. And I turned around and went back. Like I said, at that time, I knew I could have made it to the tunnel, the one way to the tunnel, which would have been about maybe a total of 3 miles at that time. But I knew I'd never make it back. Excuse me, I'd make it back, but I'd be dragging and I'd hurt myself. So I said, well, got 3 choices. I could either park at that, it's called Scenic or Cecil Henderson Road Trailhead. Hi. See, I knew I was forgetting something. I forgot to set this damn workout thing. Damn it. I hate when that happens. See, I had too many things on my mind about where I was going to park, and so that's about 0.2 miles I didn't get captured on this whatever. So like I was saying, there's 3 options if you want to be closer to the tunnel. One's on the other side of the tunnel, down at the Cecil Henderson Road, which is roughly about a half a mile from the tunnel. The other one is on this side of the tunnel, which is McConnell Road, about a half a mile from the tunnel. And then there's this here Ridgewood. So I chose this one now. Hi. Yeah, I was parked at that McConnell Road. Got my body cam on and everything. I got to start getting out of the car, and I'm like, Geez, I don't know, man. There were so many cars there, and I thought, when these guys start trying to get out of here, these other cars near me, it's real tight. I was trying to see if I could pull up a little further, but I was like off the edge. It's like goes off the edge into the roadway. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm out of here. So I opted for this one. That's not too bad, actually. It's tight. There's only like 3 spots, but at least it's not all rough and rugged and dusty and dirty there. Now, if you went down to the other side of the tunnel, oh, listen to all those birds up there. Jeez, it's crazy. I never heard that many birds. The hell are they? That is wild. Hi. So yeah, if you went to Cecil Henderson Road or Scenic, the problem with that one for me is it's too rugged and it's like dusty and dirty there. And like I said, I still got this new car, so I don't want to get it too messed up. Hi. Man, if that lady didn't have that dog on a leash, he'd have been jumping on me. See, that's where you don't know if the dog's friendly or going to attack you. Hi. I'm going to keep it to a slower pace here because it's going to be a long trip today. It could have been 1.2 miles shorter one way if I'd have kept my car at the McConnell Road. I wanted to maneuver in there and like back it in at that McConnell place, but just couldn't do it, man. There's just way too many cars stuck in that little tiny. You know what I did notice though? They took out all of the mounds of crushed limestone that have been there for over a year. They're gone now, so I wonder if they use them to fill in up there at that Muse branch, that extra branch they built. We'll find out. We'll go up that way now once we get to the Muse Bishop Bridge. Well, this trail's really covered with leaves now. Alright, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. It's October 18th. Now, 2 weeks ago, we had still had that real high temperatures, like in the 80s. Then we dropped off. It got kind of cool. Some days were pretty cold. Other days it warmed up, you know, say like the mid-60s or whatever in the day. Today, it's going to go up to 75. So right now, like when I got out of the car, it was about 70. That's great. It's sunny. I could have worn shorts, but I chose to wear long pants. Just never know, you know. But yeah, this is going to be probably one of the last good days of the year. I'm going to, you know, I hate saying that. I hate predicting that. You know, we've had some really good days. I don't say really good, but some warmer days in November-ish. You know, like say late October, early November. It's crazy out here today. Everybody's got the same idea as I do. Get your walk in, your bike ride in. So the weather's going to go to hell. So the deal is, it's going to drop off. I think tomorrow might still be a little warmish, but it's going to be raining like crazy. And it's going to rain for about 3 days maybe. And temperature's going to drop off so that the highs are going to be potentially only in the 50s, low 50s. Now I did look next weekend. Next weekend, it could be back to like the higher 60s. So that's like towards the end of the third week of October, which, you know, I can deal with that. You know, October's a weird month. You get some crazy temperature shifts. Last year was really mild. It was mild all the way through pretty much the whole month, and even into early November. The year before that, it's kind of like reminding me of this year. Firstly, here's taking this bridge, the Muse Bishop Bridge. I can smell something burning, leaves. So yeah, I was here 2 weeks ago, taking all my obligatory pictures, alternate videos and such. I'm not going to do that right now. I just did that. Anyway, 2 years ago kind of reminds me of this year. You had this really hot beginning of October, like in the 80s. For about a week, less than a week. Then all of a sudden it dropped off and it got really cold. Then you had a couple of occasions of it going to the mid-60s again. East Bishop Bridge. Hope this thing's working. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah, it's working. See, what happened was I was parked at, like I said, I was parked at McConnell Road. I had this body cam all set up around my neck and everything. And I was getting out of the car and everything was ready to go. And I changed my mind and got out of there. So I was driving around with this body cam on. Whatever. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be too bad. There's some squirrels or something running around there. Yeah, when I was here in March, parked at that Cecil Henderson Road, Scenic, walked down to here. Saw that they had put this in. It's that Muse branch. But at that time it was all like gravel. And I said, nah, I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't want to walk on gravel. But now they got better surface. Yeah, because like when I walk on those uneven surfaces, like they used to have that gravel here, that really messes up my muscles in the hip area. Let's just take a look at this. So yeah, they used this new, they put down a crushed limestone. It's going to be nice. The Muse branch, 1.6 mile branch. Okay. Begin construction and location. Tracks were pulled up in 1984. Muse branch, 0.6 miles long. That might not be too bad, but I kind of want to go to the tunnel first. Let me go ahead and get a few selfies in here. And so there's a selfie. First selfie of the day. There's that sign. There's that sign. And then that is the Muse branch. 0.6 miles is not that big of a deal, but if I have to choose, am I going to go that way and then just go back, or am I going to go to the tunnel and back? I'm going to go to the tunnel. That's why I came here today. I want to get to that tunnel one more time. Like I said, I was here in March, never got back all year. It's really good to see that they did that surface with the crushed limestone, because so I said the last time when I was here, I said I'm not going to take that until they do the surface. I really wish that McConnell Road was a better trailhead. Because see, what happened is when I did that and left there and said, oh, I got to go all the way down here, I drove on that road down there. It's McConnell Road. It goes all the way down. Hooks up to that Muse Bishop Road. Like I said, it was like 1.1 miles, 1.2 miles. Wow, lots of bikes today. Well, firstly, it's a Saturday. That normally happens on a Saturday. But when the weather's this great, you can't beat it. Hi. It's really funny how these seasons go, how the October can be crazy roller coaster temperatures. Like next week, or this coming week, next week, it's going to end up being sort of like November weather. I was hoping it would be like last year. Last October was really mild. See, maybe, let's hope, that there will be a resurgence in late October, early November, where the temperatures go up a little bit, and we can still enjoy this. Hi. This is truly 1.2 plus the, say, 0.5, and let's say even say 0.6. Yeah, because you got to go through the tunnel, so even if it's 0.7, right? So you get your 1.2 plus, say, 0.7, 1.9, and then back. That's a long walk. It's close to 2 miles times 2 is 4. For me, that's a long walk. Now I wish I did wear shorts. It's hot. 24 and a half. Here's the miniature tunnel. Miniature National Tunnel. Prudence Lane. Dear Prudence. I gotta get me some Wawa. The only time I ever parked at that McConnell Road, other than, this brief moment today, was about the second week of September of 2023, when I was experimenting. I didn't know anything about where these trailheads were or anything. I was trying all different things. I parked there one day, and I went down to the National Tunnel. That particular day it was really cold and damp. Even though it was September, it was still cool and damp. So I didn't, it was like all, I don't know, muddy, but it was kind of a mess, all right, walking on this. I went down to the tunnel. I didn't even go in the tunnel. Like, oh no, I don't know, it's too damp, it's too weird. I should have gone through, but since then I've been through that tunnel 2 or 3 times. You figure 2024 I went there a couple times, at least. 2025 so far I went there once. There's a big difference in coming here like this where there's lots of people on a weekend versus a weekday. It's so deserted on a weekday.
Your spot is reserved for culinary medicine workshop women's health. Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Here comes that McConnell trailhead. McConnell Road.
Can you put it in here so I can do the right time? I'm going to take it down.
Alright, so here's that parking area. Looks like I had said for years, a couple years at least, well, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, they had those huge mounds of crushed limestone all in here taking up all this parking lot. Here's those half spheres, these little walls down here. Here's where I was parked. I was parked right next to this black car where that green 4Runner is. And I don't know, I just didn't like it, so I left. Would have been good to try to back in all the way down at the end there, but too crazy here, too tight. Look at it, it's not that bad, but it's not that good either. It's too small. Alright, so here we are. McConnell Road. 1.2 Ridgewood Drive, which we just came from. So at 1.0, okay, so I have to add to this. Add like 0.1 or 0.2, whatever. There's that. See, Cecil Henderson Road's 0.9. We know it's like half a mile to the tunnel from here, half a mile from the other, roughly. So, and then there's that go through the tunnel. So, all right, so this is doable. On a weekday, that would be better to come here to the McConnell. Well, all the leaves here look pretty green. Even back there. Once they start getting more yellow and orange, it'll be too late because they'll be all falling off and then there won't be too many leaves left. You know, like I said, it's a crapshoot every October and November. You just never know what you're going to get. So we'll take today, 75 degrees, can't beat that. I wish it was warm all year round. Dude, just move. Move to a different climate. Mike DeMoss. See, with these kind of trailheads like that, they're real small. Even if you get a nice, safe spot and you think you're good, somebody's going to always pull in, cram their car into somewhere that shouldn't be just to get in. It's just not going to be pleasant. That's why I like these nice, safe, paved parking lots. Like, for example, down there at Cecil Park. That's nice down there. It's a little bit too far, though, to come up here to walk all this. We're starting to come close to the tunnel. I can see the outer rim. Here we are, approaching the tunnel. This is the one that the sign on the other end talks about the tunnel with 3 names. I'm going to go through the tunnel and get some pictures of that. I can start feeling the cool air right here. That cool air. Yeah, last time when I was here in March, they still had those doors closed with a little opening with a plastic. It's like curtains you have to go through, and it's all dripping down water everywhere. Now it's kind of wide open, see? Caution, tunnel is dark and may be icy. Walk your bike. Well, if I brought my bike, then I would think about walking it. Today I'm going to walk myself. Now let's take yeah, there we go. Alright. Let's brute force our way through. There's certain sections up here that get really damp. Lots of water dripping down. This doesn't look too bad right here though. Ooh, yeah, that's really cool. I can feel that cool air. Man, it's freezing. Probably like 50 degrees in here. Let's walk around the water. I don't want to get too wet. There's almost nowhere to walk without getting wet. Now here's some dry patches right here. Way too many people right there. Alright, so there we go. Tunnel with 3 names. National Tunnel. Could have been known as the Bishop or the McConnell. Huh. Tunnel with 3 names. Wow. So there's the tunnel with 3 names. Tunnel with 3 names. And then tunnel with 3 names. Alright. Take a break. Now, if we went down that way, I don't know, maybe 0.4 mile, 0.5 mile, take you to that McConnell. No, shit. Take you to that Kernick, Cecil Henderson Road trailhead. Alright, so let's get back to this now. We're at 1.5 mile right here. But remember, I have to add about 0.1 or 0.2, let's say 0.2. So it's like 1.7, which is kind of what I thought. Now, there's too many people, so that guy stopped his bike right there. What the hell, man? Oh, he's taking pictures too. Pictures. Everybody wants a picture. Zoom, zoom, yeah. Alright. I'm going to do some more alternate videos when I get in here. Hopefully without people in my shot. It's really cool right here. It feels like it's 55 degrees. People coming? No. Okay. Good. Finally, there's no people coming. Here comes some guy that coming with a bike. Damn. Alright, so there's the National Tunnel. Look all around as we do. And then we can start zooming. Look at that right there, that shot with the light shining on the wall down there. Cool. Max zoom. That's way too much. Damn. Too many people today. I think what we're going to do, we're going to walk through this carrying this. Now, right about here, I'm going to zoom. That's a nice picture right there. Too bad there's a guy in the shot. Go back that way. Alright, so there's the leaking water. There's the ceiling. Naturally, this watch is saying to stop your run. Don't want to do that. Stop your walk. There is an entrance or exit. And there all right, that's enough of that. Now we're right in the middle. No, not in the middle, we're about a third of the way. See the bend up there? That's what makes this a great tunnel. It's not straight. Here comes bikes. Bikes with their headlights. Let's take some more shots of this. The bikes. That's nice. I like to see that, and the light shining like that on the wall, the glistening walls. Well, it's really dry right here, but not down there. I don't like the wet. Although this side isn't too bad right here on the right. Let's see right here. Okay, there's a nice bend. Let's get that on video. Yeah, that looks nice. So water right there, dripping down from up there. And then, and here's a bunch of water. Let's get back in here. There we go. Hearing all kind of bikes and people. All right, that's enough. Ooh-wee. speed demons. Alright, here's a 25-mile marker. Boy, that cool air right here. It's like 50 some degrees. Then you come right out here, it's like 75 degrees. Crazy. It's like that in the spring. Actually, it's like that all the time. It's always colder inside the tunnel, but you really feel it in the spring and the fall. Well, that was an adventure. And it seems like as I'm now done with it all, here comes there's no people. So it's like, damn, I always get hit at the wrong time. Caution, tunnel is dark and maybe icy. It's definitely dark. It's wet, but it's not icy yet. Hear that rooster. Wow. Whew, I feel it's hot air right now. Is that somebody yelling in the tunnel? Or is that a real rooster? Well, that's loud. Is that a rooster or is that a dog? Oh, it sounds like a dog. Damn, is that loud? That is so loud. I'm kind of glad I didn't park at that McConnell. Not only for the tight parking, but it just gives you more fun, the anticipation of reaching the tunnel. If you park up here at McConnell, it's like, geez, you go right down, there's a tunnel. It's like, okay, big deal, we're done. This gives you a nice long walk in preparation for the enjoyment. Yeah, that first time, parked at McConnell, September 23, walked down, didn't even go in the tunnel, it was too cold and damp, went back. And later, in October, I parked at that Cecil Henderson and walked down through the tunnel. And in 2024, I parked at the Cecil Henderson and went through the tunnel a bunch of times. Yeah, and so I never came to the tunnel from this end until just now, or that very first time in September 23. See, I never parked close enough from up here to do it. I was always parking at the other end at Cecil Henderson, as that's close. I never wanted to really come back to this McConnell because it's so tight. And I never parked at Ridgewood until today. And if you park at Cecil Park, it's too far to come all the way down here. Now look at, there's a guy parked right here on the edge like that. I guess you could do that. Alright, McConnell Road. Ridgewood is 1.2. So we got 1.2 to go. Back to the car.
He's on my fantasy team. Oh, the running back?
Yeah, this is thinned out a little bit. I would have been parked right next to where that 4Runner is, because that guy with the black car, that was that guy with the black car back there. I wish this was wider. Here's these, let's take a zoom shot. Yeah, zoom shot. Take a alternate video of this stuff right here. There we go. So like you see, there's this wall here. It's got these half spheres design. Now, since from early 24 till just recently, this whole parking lot was filled all the way up to here somewhere with the crushed limestone, piles of it, which made it even worse to try to park at McConnell Road. But I guess it's, oh, something went off on that phone. Oh, okay. Damn, there's all kind of weird ass messages. Getting way too many notifications from different places. What happened is one time, I think when I had my old phone still, I noticed that I wasn't getting certain notifications from the YouTube. And I was like, what did I do to turn that off? How did that happen? So I went into a whole bunch of different apps and tried to turn on notifications just in case. And it related to Google and stuff. So I turned all that back on eventually. But now I'm getting all kind of unnecessary and unwanted junk that I could care less about. I'm afraid to go in there and start turning stuff off again. Because you never know what you're going to deactivate. Like, here's another thing that happened to me yesterday. Look at this. There's nobody here right now. It's so peaceful. What time is it? It's 1:06. Yeah, 1:06 p.m. This is the way I like it. I like it when there's certain people, some people, but not too much. Nice and peaceful. Anyway, yesterday, with my vehicle, I was trying to do some stuff with the navigation, and it kept saying to me, unable to process the command, do it later, or whatever, try later. Even tried to do the simple thing like, hey Lexus, tell me a joke, because it uses Google, and it tells you a joke. And nothing was working. And then it started saying things like, network trying to connect, not connected, and this and that. If this message persists, contact your dealer. And I'm like, what the hell is this horse shit? or horse shite. Anyway, I said, this is ridiculous. I know the no services were discontinued or disconnected on purpose. I have service, the various trial periods are, a lot of them are like 3 years and stuff. There's no way that you could have expired on that stuff. So I played around with it when I got home. Somehow, something got disconnected. Don't ask me how. So basically, I had to make sure you restart everything on the car. You shut it off, turn it back on. Or you could there's a reset button. You press a button, hold the volume control down or something. It's kind of like restarts. I also had to do the same thing on my phone. Make sure everything was connected. And I had to enter a PIN number. Hi. Just like when you very first got the car and you had to set everything up and activate things and what have you. It was kind of like that. You had to go, and I didn't remember all that stuff. I mean, that was the first day at the dealer, and the guy was saying, well, you do this and do that. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So I kind of just messed around with it and figured it out. Eventually then, it was asking me to enter this PIN. All kind of crazy horse shit. I could have never imagined my parents dealing with stuff like that. They wouldn't know what the hell to do. My parents were so inept when it came to technology and stuff. Even mechanical things like my dad had on his one car, he had this oil percent effectiveness. It'd go down, start at 100, go down. And he was trying to look at that one time, and then he's pressing stuff, and then he set it all back to 100. And then trying to figure out, clocks on a VCR. One time he was saying he spent all night trying to set up something on the cable TV went out at home, and then he was trying to set something back up again. He was just sitting there playing with the menu going up and down, start all over, do it again and again. He said, I did that all night. I said, well, how long? You stayed up all night? He goes, yeah, I stayed up all night trying to figure out how to get it to go. Oh, man. Crazy. See, even me, I'm savvy with computers and all that. And you can still find yourself fumbling through these menus. Stuff isn't where you think it's going to be. I'm feeling pretty good right now. Muscles are getting a little sore, but that's okay. Nothing too bad. Say 2.2 miles so far. Add 0.2 to that, it's 2.4. I can see that Muse branch up there. I don't think that's going to be too great like as far as scenery or anything, because it's just going to go through like some neighborhood. I could give it a shot. I might give it a shot just because I figure you're not going to come back here. Same thing as last week up at, where was that? I was thinking about that. Yeah, down at the Greer Tunnel. You figure you're not going to be coming back. Now see that little pathway there, little roadway, and see that gravel right there? That gravel, that rough surface, this is what they had on the Moose Branch at the beginning. Well, first it was just dirt, and then they put that heavy gravel on it. And I said, no way am I walking on that. Although my doctor was saying, I said, doctor, you know, I find that when I'm walking on uneven surfaces, that really messes me up. Hi, walking on your right. Oh yeah, look so much. I said to him, I like it when it's smooth and flat, but when there's uneven surfaces, really, you really have to work out and your muscles get all stretched. And he said, oh yeah, that's great. You need to do more of that. Walk on uneven surfaces. Like one thing you could do, like we always say to people, walk on sand if you can, do this and that. He uses all kind of different muscles. I'm like, yeah, but being older, it takes a while to recover from that. I know one time this year I went on that uneven surface down there in Coriopolis Branch, and I hurt my muscle in my hip area, and it was sore for about a week. It's like, gosh darn it. Stuff that you never think of when you're younger. It sounds like there's something running over there. But when you're older, you start thinking about this kind of stuff. Like, am I going to make it? Am I going to have a sore muscle for a week or whatever? I'm going to go ahead and try this Moose Branch. Hi. So there we go, Moose Branch. Moose Branch, 0.6 miles long. So, we've done 2.3, okay, never mind, forget what we've done. Let's just do it a little bit. Do it until we can't take it anymore. See, so this is a nice surface now. They got the crushed limestone on this. It's just like any other part of the trail. That's what they need to do down there in Coriopolis. They said it's on their list to finish off the Quarry Branch. It exists, and it's existed for years, but there's no good surface. It's all gravel and stuff. Right here is nice. Up here, I'll bet you it's going to go through some backyards and stuff. So that's when I think I'll turn around. Alright, so there's the beginning of the Muse branch. There's the Montour football. The Montour Trail's over there. It goes down to McConnell Road. There's that Prudence Lane thing. And then there's the beginning of the Muse branch. And it goes up that way. We'll go up here for a little ways before we realize that we shouldn't have done it. Well, when I looked on a map for this a couple of times, you kind of look on Google Earth and see where does this actually go. It curves to the left here. So Montour Trail curved to the right and went across that Muse Bishop Bridge. This isn't going to go across any bridges or anything. This is going to go along the neighborhood. It's kind of nice that they made this, though. Well, according to that sign back there, that was actual trains went on this. But I mean, they made it into a trail now. This is kind of going uphill here. Not liking that. I think I'm not going to go too much further. I think I'm going to quit right here. It's too much, man. My legs are starting to hurt. There's nothing too great up there anyway, according to when you look on Google Earth. Now, if you lived up there, that'd be great. Just access that real quick from your house. Back there at that McConnell Road, that guy that was walking, he had like a brown shirt on and shorts. He was parked in that black car next to where I had parked. And he was getting out of the car and he was walking around stretching and stuff. And that's when I backed out of there and got the hell out of there. He's still there. So now I gotta go. Which is that gonna be? Close to another mile to get back to the car. This is really depressing. I mean, well, not today. I mean, it's just depressing to think about. You're not going to be able to do this when the weather gets cold. And it's going to be all winter like that. I was out the other day. It was probably like in the high 50s. And I had to wear a jacket. I wasn't on any trails. I was just walking like to a mall or something. And I thought, man, it's really too cold to do walking on the trail because you'd have to have a hat and you'd have to wear a jacket. and you're gonna get all sweaty. It's just not gonna be fun when you're all done with it. They put that wall or that fence up there so that you don't just cut down into that. I'm thinking everyone would probably just cut long into there, cut into there. Let's get some more wah-wah. The Moose Branch. So they said it was a 1.6 mile branch, October 1921. This here path is only 0.6. So now we're on our way back to Ridgewood.
Thank you.
That dude had plenty of room. And he's like, I turn around, he's like right there. Hey, you want a hug? Gosh darn it. Crazy. Well, you know, he looked like he was a little shaky on that bike, so I know I'd be doing the same thing. When I was first doing that bike, and after having not used a, not ridden a bike for like 50 years, I was like a little bit shaky, especially when you get close to people or even like close to, say, a barrier or whatever on the trail. Had to slow way down and hope you didn't like crash into anything. See, that's what I like to see right there. See the leaves are bending over the trail, and they form a natural tunnel shape. So instead of it being the national tunnel, it's a natural tunnel. Haha. I love seeing stuff like that, especially like with these leaves turning yellow. Another place that would be nice to see again this year, but I don't think down there at Peterswood Park, when you go down towards McMurray from Peterswood Park, that far entrance and they go down towards McMurray, there's some really beautiful leaves down there, and it's just like it lights up the sky with all the leaf changing colors. But not sure I'm going to be able to do that this year, because after this rain coming up, we're going to have some cold ass temperatures, which is probably going to lots of wind, strong winds. So by the time that's all done, you get to next weekend and maybe say, well, we can go back out on the trail for a while. It's going to be in the 60s. Won't have any leaves left. Hi. There's your Miss Bishop Bridge. Hi.
Have a great day.
You too. Sound like a politician or something. A salesman or a politician. Have a great day. Here you go. I'm going to go ahead and take some more pictures. I took these a couple weeks ago, but I'm doing it again. Here comes people now, though. And so there's that fence. Turns into that kind of a fence, which is like mirrors that's on the bridge. And then you've got this on the bridge. Now you look out and you see a lot of green leaves still way out there. You do see some orange and yellow. Here comes a truck. Enough of this. We got plenty of pictures of this 2 weeks ago. Think about that 2 weeks ago. Hi. Cute kid. Wow, man, to be a kid again. Damn. Hi. Somebody needs to give those people a rule book. They didn't know jack shit about the rules on the trail, and they're walking on the right, on the left actually, and the bike guy comes down and he's like, passing on your left, passing on your left, passing on your left, and they're just like, guys just like standing here walking on this side right here, they're like, oh, moseying along, I don't know jack shit about anything. Freaking dorks, man. That's the thing, you know, people don't do any kind of research, or even if they did, they don't care anything about anything. When I first did this trail, I looked it up, you know, I read the rules, I followed the rules. Passing on your left, passing on your left. And then the guy should have said, turn around and said, the hell you are, I'm walking over here. Or the guy on the bike should have just smacked him up beside the head. Say, dude, learn the rules. Hi. Some people you can't fix stupid, you know? Stubborn and stupid. Kind of like all the Democrats out there. Hear that prick, that Jeffries, that idiot? Oh man, I can't stand that guy. He's like a thug. He said some nasty things yesterday about Caroline Levitt. Lies, actually lied. Like they'll play a clip of her and then they'll play a clip of what he said. She didn't say what you just said, dude. So here's the deal. Here we go. Here's the deal. This is October 18th, Saturday, October 18th. This is the day in all the cities around the country that the George Soros funded rallies trying to stir up all kind of stuff, this no kings stuff. It's like they can't focus on anything else other than they hate Trump so bad. So anyway, the talk was, or is, that the Democrats are going to hold on to this shutdown until after this here rally to show something like solidarity or whatever. And then pretty soon after that, they're going to just fold. They got nothing to hold on to. They got nothing, all right? And I don't blame Trump for shutting down everything he can do, every program that he can, terminate, and these government waste programs, just terminate them, and people are going to not come back to a job after that. It's so full of corruption. There's a squirrel right there. And Schumer's one of the biggest for that. They were saying there was this one program he tried for years to get it to go. It's his baby, and that's getting shut down. Good. I'm in favor of whatever Trump is doing, because he comes into this whole mess that he inherited, and he's thinking, man, I gotta hurry up and do stuff, because they're gonna try to stop everything. Then if somehow they could get a majority in the House, they're going to do the impeachments again. It's like a whole bunch of horse shit. So he's doing everything he can as fast as he can, which is great. Hi. He's non-stop, man. He's just ripping through everything. I was over there in Middle East last weekend, flies back, meeting after meeting with all kind of different people. Yeah, I'm in favor of whatever the hell he's doing. Hi. Slow it down now. Now think about this. They pull this shutdown shit, right? They got no leg to stand on. They're just doing it just to prove to somebody, that prove to the far left wing that they're relevant. Schumer. And then eventually they're going to cave. Okay? Like you see next week, Monday, Tuesday, whatever, Schumer's going to come out and go, well, we have to open the government. I mean, the Republicans are messing everything. Oh, we feel that now we have to open it. It's like, dude, you could have just done that 2 weeks ago. But if he doesn't do that, the shutdowns are going to keep on going. And then pretty soon, November rolls around, right? And they're going to have to do it again, because even if they opened it now, they're going to come back to the same point in like before Thanksgiving. And, you know, are you telling me that they're going to come to some agreements between now and then? I doubt it. Keep the government shut down forever. You watch. If they wouldn't get paid, those senators and lawmakers, if they didn't get paid, they wouldn't be doing this. I like how Trump floated that thing the other day. He said, well, I got somebody, some donor said in his shortfall, he will fund the government. So I could see Trump saying, okay, great, let's just keep it going. I'll find creative ways to fund when I need to be funded, you know, like the military and everything. And I'll cut all these other programs that don't mean anything that we wanted to get rid of anyway. Just keep it shut down. I don't see Republicans ever giving in to these stupid demands that the Democrats have right now of putting all this stuff back. Look, dude, you lost, all right? You lost the election. The bill passed, the one big beautiful bill passed in July. But you're just having a tantrum now because things take effect at the end of the year. And they got this one last try, you know. Shut all the government down forever, as far as I'm concerned. Be an interesting concept. How long can you go without this, you know, with the government shut down? How many years? Well, we're getting close to Ridgewood again. Whew. And I'm getting tired. Just hope my car's okay. There's these pricks that wouldn't move over before for the biker. There's a cat right there. Cat. Interesting cat. Oh, I see my car's okay. It's still in the same. Yes, yeah, it's still in the same spot. Yeah, right. It's still in the same spot. What I meant was, there's nobody parked next to it on the other side, and the car that's on the other side of it was the one that was there before. So it's good. So there's 3 slots there, and I see someone parked on the road, next to the road there. All right, now Ridgewood Drive. Let's step into this. We don't know what we're stepping on. So we were down at the McConnell Road, then we went past that. Good 0.5 past all that. And then we're back at the car now. Let me go ahead and take a shot of that while we're here. So here we are at Ridgewood Drive. Right. This is Ridgewood Drive. And then fix that. Okay, done. All these leaves on there. I'm gonna reach those leaves. So, let's just see if this all hooks back up again like it did when I first got in the car today. Oops. Leave this body cam on while I drive. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, shut this off. End workout, we had 3.4. So it's about 3.6. You add that 0.2 back to that. Wow, a lot of steps. Now let's try this. Well, I'm going to show you this on the body cam. Hi, Lexus. Tell me a joke.
I'm afraid for the calendar. Its days are numbered.
Haha. Okay, signing off. Bye-bye.